Hi everybody, Ham here. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and you spent your entire paycheck during Black Friday. So, yep, that's right. All right, so I just wanted to make this video to kind of give everybody a big giant hug and to tell them that, you know, you are indeed doing a good job raising your children, teaching them manners, teaching them, you know, how to act over other people's houses and things like that. But we forget they're children, and they don't always show well. Like what you see, the good that your child might show at home, the behavior that they, you know that they're capable of. You know, we forget they're still learning. And this is something I have to tell myself as well. Like, for instance, yeah, I'm puffy from 3 days of binge eating, I swear. Even today, I'm like, I'm gonna be good. And then I go to a friend's house and I'm like, oh, give me your leftovers. And then I come home and I eat more leftovers. Oh, stuffing. All that weight, I lost like maybe 4 pounds. It'll go away. I'm determined. Yoga, jiu-jitsu, I'm good. Okay, so anyway. So for instance, my daughter is literally the sweetest, most empathetic, like, where does it come from, right? And a lot of our children are, but I'm just saying, like, for example, like, I've never seen someone so giving and not want, and I guess that means I'm doing a good job, but it's just like her too, you know? So, oh my God, I can't believe how puffy I look, Jesus. It's just like I see it in my face because like my face is normally very thin. So even a little bit of puffiness, like these little cheeks. Anyway, back to the subject. So, it's not coughing, I'm yawning. Anyway, so sometimes my kid doesn't always show well, for instance. Especially if your kid is the only child. I feel that you don't always get those teaching moments. When kids have siblings, like you go through so many emotions and stages all day long that you're constantly able to constantly reiterate and go over things and give them those opportunities to, oh, I'll kill right now. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I like heard someone coming and I was like, Jesus, I'm in like a freaking bathroom. Like I can't have privacy in the bathroom. Anyway, so, you know, they don't always, so you have more of an opportunity to train them is what I'm saying. Sometimes when you have the only child and they're not like quiet and mousy and they're like have a lot of life and energy and, you know, they're excited, and they live with a bunch of adults. It's like they're used to getting a lot of things their way. Not to say that they're bratty, but they're just used to things being a certain way. So sometimes when you go out or even in school, it's like they're not always able to adapt to a world with other children their age. Or even if you have a bunch of kids, maybe they're angels at home, but for some reason they're just like not good at when they're out, or maybe they're really good when they're out, but they're bad at home. You know, there's always some kind of weird balance, but we forget, you know, children are still learning and we're still learning how to like maneuver that and to teach, right? So I've noticed that I need to try to take all the play dates I can just to have these moments to explain to her, you know, what's appropriate and what's not. And it's not that she doesn't know, it's like you get really excited when you're like at someone's house and like you want to play and everyone's like there and like it's playtime, it's on. Like when my kid goes somewhere, or even like when her cousins come over, it's like game on. Because they don't get that all day, every day, like kids with siblings. So basically what I'm trying to say is like, you are doing a good job. Kids are not always going to be 100%. They might be sick, they might be hungry, they might be like really excited, They might be embarrassed, so they're like acting a different way. So your kid's not always going to show well. And I know it's like frustrating. You want to like tell the other parents like, no, I swear, like they're usually not like this. And, or I think that they're coming to, like you want to make an excuse. And it's my sickness all the time to do that, because my kid's very unpredictable. Not a bad kid, doesn't hit, isn't rude, but can at times be a little tactless. But kids are like kind of just say what's on their mind. But they're very like intelligent, so things come out sometimes, or they'll have a lot of energy, and it's like you gotta calm down. So, but kids get into those moods all the time. It's like, did they have a bunch of sugar before they came, like, or are they, wherever it is, school, a friend's house, even if people come to your house, at the playground. And I don't know if it's just my generation, but we often tend to get like very defensive, and I get defensive. Like even if someone says the smallest little thing about my kid, I literally like the hairs on my back raise, and I'm like, what did you say? Well, it's probably true, and it's not that anyone's like mad or like upset about it. They're just kind of like pointing it out, And like even when I get upset at other kids, like I know in my heart, like I'm not actually mad. I'm just kind of like, what the heck, Or like, oh, you're just pointing out something that you noticed. So, I just wanted to remind you that like sometimes kids aren't always showing the way that you've raised them. Okay, they're still learning. They're not going to be 100%. They're still kind of maneuvering through life, and so are you. You're trying to figure out what's the best tactic, and maybe you didn't realize like, oh, I needed to warn my kid before we went to church or went wherever, that they had to be a certain way. And sometimes kids are just full of energy. I swear I got rid of this cough, and what the hell, it's been like a month. I can't, it's like I'm sick or something. Or like something like a respiratory. I feel like I should go to the doctor. Now I notice as if I talk too much. Now it tells me when I need to shut up. Sorry. Echoing in this bathroom too. Anyway. So just give yourself more credit. And give your kids more credit. And the people who know you and love you are not judging you. And they've probably seen your kid in different lights and different environments. And just because your kid is a certain way and their kid isn't, it doesn't mean your kid's bad or their kid's bad. It's just life. We all have different personalities. You have to get used to different personalities. And, learn to be tolerant of the way that people are. It's just like an exercise in tolerance. So don't beat yourself up. Don't get embarrassed. I mean, I've kind of just like given up sometimes. Like I said, my kid is like literally like, we just called Santa. Like there's an 800 number to call Santa. Because they kept saying, am I on the naughty list? And their teacher had told them like, no, you're on the, like, she'll ask like, am I on the good list? And the teacher says, no, you're on the great list, right? She did something where she like, I don't know, like passed gas on me. So I'm like, I'm called Santa, right? Just joking. And I have this number and I call and it's like, ho, ho, ho. And then a recording comes like, tell us, and remember, I'm watching you, just to scare the crap out of them. And you leave a message for Santa. And I wish I had the recording. And she's just like, I have lots of Christmas cheer, and I'm really believe in you. And even when I'm a teenager, I'm gonna believe in you. And I'm very nice, and I give lots of love, and I have lots of Christmas cheer. Didn't even like ask for things. So it wasn't like, and I want this, and I want that, and I want that. It was just like being sweet. And I'm like, why can't people see this part? God. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so sweet. Just like a little angel. So I know people do see that side. And I know that it shows. And I know that I get compliments. but it's like you wish it was all the time and like they were always perfect. And you're not perfect and your kids aren't perfect. And the people who know you and love you the most have seen the good side too. And they know that children, you know, are ticking time bombs, and depending on the hour, minute, day, whatever, they can be a little bit different. And sometimes people, you know, pass judgment, not even meaning to. Like they say things, you know, knee-jerk reaction, and maybe they don't even really mean it. It's just like, you know, you never know what's going through someone's mind or what their day was like. So don't get so offended. I get offended if anyone says like my kid's toenails out of place. But it's all with love, and I don't think anybody's really trying to hurt anybody's feelings, hopefully, if they love you and they're a good person in your life. So just know that you are doing a good job, and you know, you are doing what's best for your family, and to keep doing what's best for your family, and to always teach your kids love and empathy and being gracious and polite and you know, tolerance. And just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean you have to like dig it in your kid. Just always just teach them the right, the good, and they'll make the choice on who they want to be and what their personality will be as they get older. Don't, you know, shove your ideals on them too much, like just the basics, as my advice, because you want them to be able to be their own person and make up their own mind. But it's always important to push on them how to be nice and polite and caring, and just like I said, remember, you are doing a good job. Don't get discouraged and embarrassed when your kids aren't being the way you know that they can be, because just like when you're doing something for the first time, they're just learning how to live, and they'll get it eventually. And they probably show well more often than you think. So have a wonderful day. You look beautiful. Your hair looks good. Your skin looks good. You look like $1,000,000. And I hope you had a beautiful holiday. And ta-ta for now. Bye.